Drugs. See your girl in the park. System overload.
This is Sean O'Malley, and you're watching Full-Time MMA. Don't be a bagel bite, bagel bitch boy, bagel bitch back.
What is going on, Full-Time family? It is time to start the show, the late show. Holy smokes, it is 4 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. where I'm at. So this show, not exactly sure how long it's going to be. Maybe an hour. We got a lot to talk about, honestly, man. We got a whole lot of Jon Jones. We're going to break this thing down, unpack a whole lot of this. We're going to cover the suspension, cover Daniel Cormier's reaction, Dana White's reaction, and then we got some more news to talk about. This is going to be like our normal daily show. And then tomorrow, since we're doing this show tonight, tomorrow we'll probably just do like a live panel where people can join. So salute to the people that are already in the building. Let me pull up the chat, give some shout outs real quick. RJ's gaming channel in the building. King Silent. What's going on, everybody? Coco Built. We got Ivan Hernandez. Ashtray. What's going on, everybody? Jefferson Alive. It's late. Y'all in the building. We got 14 watching it. 3 in the morning. What's going on, y'all? Y'all ready to break this down? This is crazy, man. I saw this at work. Like, make sure you follow me on Twitter, too, by the way. Because when I'm at work and I can't, like, post a video or something, I'm retweeting this shit as it's going on. So I was, like, retweeting shit, like, looking into USADA documents while I was at work. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? It's crazy because, alright, so Jon Jones, by now you probably know, he's been given a 15-month retroactive suspension after his arbitration in the USADA case. And what that means is he'll be eligible to return by October 28th. That's the earliest he can return. Now that makes him eligible to return right before Madison Square Garden. And we still need a headliner for that card. The headliner's likely going to be announced. But as of tonight, even with all of this news, people are saying that this is not the main event. Ariel Helwani, I believe Dana White, like a lot of people are coming out and saying no, Jon Jones is not going to be fighting at Madison Square Garden. So if they come out and announce it tomorrow that it is, that's going to be crazy. But if not Jon Jones, then who? Because from what it sounds like, Jon Jones might not be coming back to early 2019. I don't know. It's interesting just from some of the stuff that's been being said. So we're going to jump into all of that. But we got a lot of Jon Jones news. And fuck it, man. It's Thursday technically now, too. So let's start the show off. Throwback Thursday, man. Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier. This is a fight we'll likely be seeing a trilogy of. UFC Yankovic, if you haven't yet, make sure you check it out on YouTube. It's super dope. I sent that Sean O'Malley song to him. He said it was super dope. He actually checked it out. So that Kill Shot Sean O'Malley remix. But we got the Jon Jones Daniel Cormier remix. Let's play this for old time's sake on Throwback Thursday before we get into all of this MMA news. And of course, we're going to be doing, like I said, a live panel tomorrow for you guys' reactions to all of this before I go to work. So, and then we've got the McGregor vs. Khabib press conference tomorrow. Holy shit, I'm going to miss it. It's going to be shitty, but I'm going to react to it probably after work. So we'll get the show started right after Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier, the Coco UFC Yankovic remix. Let's go.
I'm getting sick of this motherfucker, crackhead, dick pill ass looking boy. I'm about to have to serve him up.
And yeah, by the way, I see my boy Jefferson Alive says he's going back to his school days when he snitched on his schoolmates about pot. That's crazy. Some people might not know what you're talking about. I got that old quote. We're gonna bring that up on this show. It's this is crazy.
Hey, give me a number 3, large size, extra fries. Jon Jones in love with the cocoa. He shoot that shit right through his nose. Then he sandblast all the hoes. Jon Jones in love with the cocoa. Jon Jones is a bitch. Jon Jones got limp dick. Or is it just them steroids, ho? Anywhere you see some coke, you see Jon Jones. Look, there he go. There he is, ho. Gus with some beat you fucking crackhead. Had you in the hospital, snapping pics, looking half dead. And that first fight was a fluke. Oh shit, I ate too much. I think I'm about to puke. Daniel Cormier loves ho-hos, cake, chicken, Snickers, Reese's bars, and them Rolos. Yeah. This fat bitch can't get no hoes, cause he done stretched out all his old clothes, yeah. I'm about to come take Fatty's belt at the press conference, looking at me like I'm a patty melt. So somehow I hope you make the weight. I ain't going for that shit that you pulled off at Towel Gate.
What's going on, family? It's Throwback Thursday. We ain't going for that Towel Gate, baby back, baby fighting bullshit. Someone said, so snitching is cool now? Bro, if you saw the comments, you motherfucking know it. Bro, the first two comments, a salute to Trollbuster, bro. One of the first two comments was, I don't care what nobody says. Jon Jones is the GOAT, and don't try to prove me wrong because you're not going to convince me. It's like, dude, you got the facts right here. And oh, by the way, like, it's crazy because there's two narratives coming out and they both contradict each other, kind of. Like, you see people reporting 15-month suspension, and this means that Jon Jones likely wasn't cheating. He's coming back. USADA's, giving him an arbitrary, didn't find enough evidence. Science has proven that Jon Jones is coming back. He's good. But if you look into the details, those people that are saying that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like, Dana White was one of the people who came out, like, science proved, what was going on today. And Dana White's right. Science did prove, he said you can't deny science. I think that was his statement. That's true. But the science said Jon Jones failed the drug test. And also, they tested 14 supplements. Jon Jones's team gave them 14 supplements to test to see if any of those were contaminated. Like, a lot of people have been proven innocent because when they give them their supplements, they'll be contaminated. There will be some banned substance that was not in the ingredients, and the labs actually fucked up. So Jon Jones's team gave them all of his supplements to see if they were dirty, and none of them were contaminated. None of them were contaminated. They were all clean, the supplements. So that's not where it wasn't a contaminated supplement. People are like missing that with this whole thing. The reason his suspension is lifted, and oh, by the way, this is another thing nobody talked about. Jon Jones actually got a max sentence. He actually got a 48-month sentence. He was suspended for 48 months, 4 years. This was a 2 to 4 year thing. He got the 4 years. And the reason he got 30 months taken off is because he's using Article 10.6.1. And that article says, if Jon Jones doesn't continue to cooperate, they'll slap your ass back with that 30 months. So Jon Jones has to flip on somebody to get this suspension lifted. It's not like he came out and was proven innocent. Like it was a contaminated supplement. So that opens up a whole new narrative. With that being said, how is he going to look when he comes back? Because is he going to come back? Now he's cooperating with USADA, so they're going to let you come back. But now you got to be clean. Now you got to be clean. Yeah, you get a suspended sentence, but now, motherfucker, we're going to be on your ass. You would think. They have only tested him once so far this year. I don't understand that. But either way, now that you're back, they're probably going to be on your ass. Or are they? Are they going to let Jon Jones slide for the money? I don't know. That's speculation. But as far as why the suspension was lifted, that's Article 10.6.1. And we pulled up that exact article. We broke this shit down. So this is crazy. We're going to break down Jon Jones coming back, different people's reactions, Dana White's, Daniel Cormier's. We got other stuff to talk about. But as far as Jon Jones coming back, man, we don't know when it's going to be. We're going to find out a whole lot more tomorrow. At the McGregor vs. Khabib press conference, we're going to know so much more. For one, we get to see that dope-ass press conference. First time McGregor and Khabib have ever came face-to-face. And then I saw that on the poster. It was like, first time ever, face-to-face. Then I was like, wait, no, these guys have a picture together from like 5 years ago. But still, it sounds good. So they're going to be face-to-face. They're going to have that press conference that's not open to the public, even though McGregor says it is, and got everybody to buy the whiskey. Like, everyone's going to be drunk as fuck. Like, what? I got my whiskey bottles. Let me in. Like, no, motherfucker, take your ass to the big TV. Go, you take your ass to the Megazilla TV, dog. You ain't coming in. I got this tweet from Conor. Hey, Conor's not running this shit, bro. Conor's a fighter. No, I don't know how that's going to go. It's going to be interesting. I can imagine, though, a lot of drunk-ass fans, because Conor did tweet, if you show up with a bottle, that's a ticket, and if you show up with two, you're getting through the express line. So there's going to be motherfuckers with 2 bottles. Toasted, I'm telling you. Tomorrow's going to be crazy, dog. Like, it's going to be crazy. I'm still trying to finagle my girl's phone so I can take it to work, but it's not sounding like that's going to go down. Well, it might. I'm trying so I can, like, watch it while I'm at work and also live stream afterward, because I'll probably be able to watch it while I'm there, but I want to be able to go live afterward with you guys. So, yeah, another topic. But so Jon Jones, 15-month suspension. All of the snitching stuff aside, I'm not going to go too far on that. I mean, that's just the facts as far as what it looks like. We're not going to get any more details. We ain't going to know who it's on. My boy Stamina MC pointed this out. Think about this. Jon Jones is at Jackson Wink. They're going through a bunch of shit already, right? What did Cowboy Cerrone, what was he saying? Our wrestling coach, his fucking claim to fame is like selling steroids to his students and shit. And fucking Stamina MC threw this out there. Jon Jones, maybe he just throws that guy under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fuck it. Cowboy already put him out there, now throw him under the bus. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And get your 30 months taken off. Jon Jones had a 48-month suspension, and 33 of those are taken off, and that's why we're down to a 15-month suspension. But this one, he actually got slapped with the max. And so science didn't help him there. The science came back. It wasn't a contaminated supplement, buddy. You got 48 months. And if you want to get these 48 months taken off, then you're going to have to give up somebody, a bigger fish. And by the way, this isn't just a name, pointing out a name. Oh, that guy might know something about steroids. Jon Jones has to make this shit happen and continue to cooperate until they, like, catch this bigger fish. And it's crazy because this is public, because whoever he might be trying to flip on or tell on, now they know. Don't associate with Jon Jones. Hide your motherfucking steroids around Jon Jones. That's all I'm saying. We got a new golden snitch. No, but now, and that's all funny. You know, I know some people take that shit a lot more serious than others. Like, if you're street, like, oh, you never fucking snitch. You know, I get that. I know there's those people out there. There's some people that say Jon Jones is the GOAT no matter what. Jon Jones could literally come out here and smack a pregnant chick in the face and then do a fucking coke line off of her belly, and people would say that's the GOAT right there. So there's going to be those people out there as well. That's why this is just up in the air. But either way, just one thing that other people brought up as well. Check this out from back in the day. This is an old quote from Jon Jones. I've always been a person who tries to do the right thing in life for the most part. I'm no angel, but I was always the kid who snitched on the kids who had pot. I don't want to offend the pot smokers out there, but I was kind of just a snitch. I was just down for people doing the right thing. My parents kind of raised me to be a good guy. I've always been down with the good side, I guess. You see that though? Like, just, but I was kind of a snitch. And now here we come with Article 10.6.1 and shit. That's how he's getting 30 months taken off of his sentence. And it says right here, 10.6.1, we'll read the bold part. It says, we'll read the beginning as well. USADA in its sole discretion may suspend all or part of the period of ineligibility and other consequences imposed in an individual case in which has results management authority, where the athlete or other person has provided substantial assistance which results in USADA or another anti-doping organization discovering or bringing forward an anti-doping policy violation by another person, or which results in a criminal or disciplinary body discovering or bringing forward a criminal offense or the breach of professional rules committed by another person. The extent to which the otherwise applicable period of ineligibility and other consequences imposed may be suspended shall be based on the significance of the substantial assistance provided by the athlete or other person to the effort to eliminate doping in the sport. So this is why that last sentence tells you why they're willing to do this. It's not because they're getting paid off. It's because if they can get a bigger fish, if they can get a steroid dealer, if they can, that's helping clean up the sport. okay, we'll give Jon Jones his fucking light suspension. Jon Jones isn't a steroid peddler. So, we'll let Jon Jones come back. In an effort to clean up the sport, we have to get somebody bigger. And you're going to have to help us get these motherfuckers, by the way, or that this sentence ain't going nowhere. So, Jon Jones got to tell on somebody, man. Kind of like back in the day. So, yeah, man, and shout out to Lane Kid on Twitter. This is where I really looked into everything. He had the articles and like the actual UFC.USADA.org where it broke down Jon Jones 30 months taken off because of Article 10.6.1. Then I went up and looked up Article 10.6.1 and it's laid out for you what's going on there. But there's also a narrative going out here. And now the first part we talked about, but he says, it's rare, but USADA doesn't have to identify the source of a banned substance to reduce a sanction. In this case, they felt Jones had a low degree of fault and wasn't trying to cheat. Now, that's the part I don't get, because I've seen that twice now. I think Dana White, was kind of alluding to that too. Well, clearly Jon Jones wasn't trying to cheat. He's found innocent or whatever. But this is the thing. If USADA felt like Jon Jones was not trying to cheat, why would he have to tell on somebody? Doesn't that mean you believe he's innocent? If this is true right here, in this case, they felt Jon Jones had a low degree of fault and wasn't trying to cheat. If USADA thinks Jon Jones wasn't trying to cheat, why the fuck does he have to tell on somebody? And oh, by the way, why the fuck did he get 4 years? This was a 48-month suspension. If you guys felt Jon Jones had a low degree of fault and wasn't cheating, why the fuck did he get 48 months? The max. And oh, by the way, now you're making him Article 10.6 point snitch? So I don't understand that. What it seems like is, yeah, Jon Jones did cheat. And now he's got to tell on somebody to get off. But what that means is there was a degree of fault, right? Because if he did cheat, then that's probably why you would get a max suspension. And also, by the way, that's when Dana White says science don't lie. Science said Jon Jones cheated. I mean, now, that was just that one test. It said he failed that one test. But he's passed tests before and after that. So this is weird, man. But either way, that's the Jon Jones in a nutshell. He's coming back eligible by October 28th. Will it be Madison Square Garden or not? We'll find out tomorrow who the headliner of Madison Square Garden is. There's a lot of people saying that it's not, and I'm starting to believe it because I don't think Ariel Helwani would tweet that the night before. He said multiple sources. Ariel Helwani took to Twitter and said multiple sources have told him that Jon Jones is not the plan for Madison Square Garden as of right now. And so if Ariel Helwani's got his feelers out there, like if Joe Rogan knows who it is, there's probably some people that might know something. So for Ariel Helwani to not be able to find anything out, he could have just not said anything. He came out and said, no, multiple sources say it's not Jon Jones. That's not the plans for Madison Square Garden. Now, check this out. Jon Jones, I think it might have been Cormier. He fought sometime in, I believe, Toronto. And so UFC 231's in Toronto. Maybe he could headline that card. Jon Jones could really come back at UFC 230, 231, or next year on the ESPN deal. But, I mean, I don't really see the need to announce Jon Jones coming back and all that shit tonight if he's not fighting this year. But it is what it is. Maybe that's just the coincidence and how the shit worked out. So we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of other fighters reacting. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's check out what the chat's talking about real quick. Before we move on with the show, Exist BMX says cocaine is a hell of a drug. Random guy says Lance Armstrong is the GOAT. RJ's Gaming Channel says John never takes responsibility. Typical Jon Jones. Bizarre just bodied Budden says Dark Cloud 6112. I might have to react to that and put it on like another channel. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start a reaction channel soon. Just to try some new shit out, you know what I'm saying? So that definitely sounds like something I need to check out. Bizarre bodied Budden, yo, I gotta check that out. Pyrotechnique says, does anyone know what time the press conference is? Yes, sir, I got you covered. I believe it's gonna be 5 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. We're gonna be talking about that as well. Let's see if it tells us in this article. Let's see. Press conference takes place tomorrow, Thursday. I don't know why they wouldn't put the exact time right here, but yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's either 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm pretty sure it's 5 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, but it's going to be going down tomorrow. So yeah, well, hopefully I'll be able to watch that live. Might not be able to, but we'll see, man. I got to try and figure that shit out somehow. Let's see. Ivan Hernandez says, cocaine is like estrogen blockers. Remove Lizard says, this is crazy. Dog, this is so crazy. All of this, man. This whole thing, the whole situation. Like, and one thing, this is one thing that kind of comes out of this. USADA's integrity stays intact. USADA is not getting paid off because that's the only way this... We didn't know about Section 10.6.1 that says USADA can let anybody back if they flip on somebody. Because that, I mean, maybe, will we even have thought about that? We thought, oh, if Jon Jones, he has to be out for 2 to 4 years. That's what USADA rules say. It's double the time. It's a second failed drug test. He's got to be out for 2 to 4 years. If Jon Jones comes back, USADA's integrity is shot. USADA's fake if Jon Jones comes back. USADA is getting paid off. And no, Jon Jones is telling on somebody. That's why he's coming back. It ain't because USADA's getting paid off. And also, another reason people were starting to feel like that is Brock Lesnar. Oh, by the way, Brock Lesnar's looking smaller. So Brock Lesnar's in USADA's testing pool. He's looking smaller. Jon Jones ain't getting the pass. He's got to handle some shit, you know, or else he's getting these 30 months slapped right back on him. He might have already done it. Who knows? Maybe that's why they've been so quiet about this whole thing. Because they had to get this shit. They had to... That's crazy. Jon Jones probably been in some stings and shit. Even wearing wires these last 3 months and shit. That's why we ain't heard nothing from him. Because they couldn't let this shit out in the public. Because that's what I'm thinking. Now that this is public, that Jon Jones has to tell on somebody, who's going to deal with Jon Jones? The Steroid man ain't knocking on Jon Jones' door after they see this shit. Maybe that's why he was so quiet for so long. He had to fucking... You can't have this shit out there if you're trying to set somebody up. You know what I'm saying? You can't... Somebody's not going to do business with somebody that they feel like is a rat. You know, that you have to do the business before they find that out. So this is super public. So maybe that has something to do with it. This is crazy. Like you said, Remove Lizard. All of this shit is crazy, man. But that's just one thing. We're not going to be on too long. Like I said, it's already 3:30 in the morning my time. I got work tomorrow. I want to go live tomorrow before work as well. The press conference is tomorrow. Probably going to be missing that. I really hate that. But the good news is we'll be able to watch the next press conference, man. There's going to be more than one. So also they're going to probably be announcing the main event of Madison Square Garden. But we only really got a few other things to talk about. And tomorrow we'll probably do a panel. But with that being said, Felix Salazar says, the snitch discount for sure. Man, 33 months taking off that joint. That's some time knocked off. But yeah. Hey, I was gonna say Cowboy came out, and I pointed this out earlier. Cowboy came out recently and threw that wrestling coach under the bus. He said his claim to fame was like peddling steroids to some of his students a while back or something. Like Stanley MC said, maybe Jon Jones just throws him under the bus. Like, hey, yeah, like Cowboy said, that fucking guy. I don't know. It's all crazy. What if Jon Jones' supplier is Brock? Plot twist. Oh shit, son. There's a squeeze on everybody right now. Oh my god. Yo, that is epic. Tron Smith, that is epic. That needs to be like a fucking MMA comic or something. Like that needs to be made into something. That's funny. What if Jon Jones' supplier is Brock Lesnar? What if? So yeah, someone said let the snitch memes begin. There was already a couple out there from his high school days. Like I looked up one of them. I just saw one of them. It said snitches on kids in high school for smoking weed. Later gets arrested for DUI. So Jon Jones are kind of from the past already had the rap of being a snitch from the statement that I showed you guys right here, where he said back in high school, he said, I'm no angel, but I was the kid who snitched on the kids who had pot. I don't want to offend the pot smokers out there, but I was kind of just a snitch. So Jon Jones been doing his snitch thizzle since high school. This is nothing new to him. For when you're looking at 48 months, you're going to be out of your prime, not active for 48 months. That's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot different. It's crazy because this is the UFC, and now it feels like some Fed shit. But, you know, yeah, when somebody's looking at life and something and they flip, you know, it's like motherfuckers are ruthless out here. So for Jon Jones, he's facing a 4-year suspension. That's not no damn life sentence or nothing. But as far as his career, it almost is, because if he was out for 4 years, man, that's quite a while. He wouldn't be eligible to return until like 2020, you know, whenever Kayla Harrison dethroned Cyborg and shit. And we're gonna talk about that a little later in the show. But either way, man, yeah. So that's a breakdown on the Jon Jones situation. That shit's crazy. Gonna be a lot more coming out on that, I'm sure, after tomorrow, after the press conference. So we'll leave that there for now, and we'll just look at some of the pros' reactions and Jon Jones' reaction. Jon Jones took to social media, and this is what he had to say. No, I'm just kidding. He said, "It's difficult to express at this moment, but I can definitely say my heart is filled with gratitude and appreciation. I want to thank all of you who have stood by me during the toughest stretch of my life. It has meant the world to me and always will. But now is the time to shift the focus front and center to the road ahead. Greatness is what I'm chasing, and the path to reclaiming my throne is now officially open. Comeback season begins now." All right, man, Jon Jones is back, but this is the thing, and he's going to likely be a heavyweight. This is the thing. How much fucking natural muscle is this guy going to be able to put on to compete at heavyweight against Daniel Cormier, who's a fucking beast at heavyweight and is the motherfucking natty GOAT? That's the question. What's he going to do? You know what I'm saying? He just had to probably give up his steroid deal. He can't even cheat no more. You know, and this is the thing, man, by the way. As far as where do I stand on USADA, I think all these motherfuckers are on steroids. Nate Diaz been right. He been telling us all these motherfuckers are on steroids. That's where the fuck I'm at right now. All these motherfuckers. Some people just know how to beat the test. And I ain't going to start throwing names out there of a lot of people who haven't failed tests, but I'll say this. A lot of these motherfuckers that haven't failed tests just know how to beat the system a lot better than people who probably fucking got high and forgot USADA was coming and forgot to put the masking agent up their fucking asshole, or however they do these goddamn steroids. All these motherfuckers are taking them, dude. USADA, you're cleaning up the sport, but like GSP and like Khabib said, you ain't beating everybody, and as a matter of fact, it seems pretty easy to beat USADA. If you ain't a jackass and if you got somebody that knows what they're doing, they can beat USADA. And if I was fucking on some proper 12 Irish whiskey right now, I'd probably be rambling and start sounding crazy on this motherfucking live show, because I'd start naming names. Champions, you motherfuckers are all on them. All these motherfuckers, and I don't care. I don't care, because it is what it is. I'm here to watch the sport. But after this whole situation and everything, yeah, you might not be on as much as you would be with USADA gone, but these motherfuckers people are on whatever they can mask. Now that USADA's here, you probably can't mask everything like the TRT and shit. But there's some shit out there you can hide, and all these motherfuckers are on it. You got me fucked up. I'm telling you right now. Jon Jones passed 3 tests, failed the 1 test, and then passed 2 more. He fucked up the masking situation. I don't know how the masking agents work, but it's called a fucking masking agent. What do you think it does? It fucking masks the fucking steroids. So what that sounds like to me is somebody fucked up on their masking agent on Thursday. Maybe you got high. I was gonna use my masking agent, but then I got high. Dude, I was gonna not enter the door to USADA, but then I got high. La da da, now I got a 4-year suspension, and I know why, man, cause I got high. Okay, you guys get the fucking point. You slipped up one day, but all these, man, that's how I'm feeling right now. That's how I'm feeling, dog. Because Jon Jones is back now, he's gonna be looking bigger than ever, and motherfucking, he's gonna be passing his tests. All these motherfuckers gonna be passing their tests, unless you mess up and slip up, and you don't tell USADA you're going to Alaska. GSP, listen to the GSP podcast. He broke it down to Joe Rogan. He told him, GSP on the Joe Rogan MMA show said, yeah, this is how you beat USADA. Tell these motherfuckers I'm going to Alaska for 2 days. Go do your shit for 2 days. Come back. Have your shit masked. Bada boom, bada bang. You beat USADA. I mean, come the fuck on. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Someone says, what if he headlines and pops again? That's on him. You know what I'm saying? You better not fuck up your masking agent because... Or maybe he just gets to tell on somebody else. I don't know. Maybe he gets to tell on somebody else. I don't know. Maybe he goes undercover. I don't know. That's a good question. What if? Jon Jones versus Anthony Johnson. That'd be a fun fight. I mean, Anthony Johnson, he would have to enter a USADA testing pool. And not because he failed a drug test, but because he retired. But who knows? Maybe there's a clause that says, hey, if you retired and you want to come back, fuck it, roll on somebody and we'll let you back early. I don't know. There's probably all type of fucking clauses where people can do shit to come back in and get exemptions. This one was new. We didn't expect this. Ivan Hernandez says, 100% cheater, no questions asked. I'm pretty much there with you. I'm at like 95% because it's not like, you know, in a lot of these situations when people get cleared by USADA, they actually went to the lab where they found the supplement and it was contaminated. Like, oh, they were just like mixing beakers and shit. You know, they had the fucking TRT protein over here and they had the regular clean protein over here, and they just fucked around and, you know, used the same equipment, and so it got slightly contaminated, so it's only trace amounts, really small amounts, because they weren't actually cheating. And that's normally what happens. But Jon Jones' team gave up all the supplements. Look, here, test my creatine, test my motherfucking Onnit protein powder, test my motherfucking Alpha Brain, test it all. Tell me what fucked up. I'm not a cheater. They tested all 14 and said, yeah, it wasn't, all of these are good. All of these are clean. You can use these. This ain't what you were using, John. You know, so yeah, he wasn't cleared in that way. So with that being said, we'll move on from that, man. Talk more about it tomorrow. With that being said, pros are reacting to Jon Jones' 15-month USADA suspension. Khabib Nurmagomedov says, now I understand USADA is #1 bullshit, people. Too much politics. So he's saying USADA's #1 bullshit, and Khabib is somebody that kind of, you know, you can say already felt that way. Whenever he was getting honored by USADA for taking like 25 tests, he said, you know, yeah, they're doing a great job of cleaning up the sport, but there's still 50% or more people cheating. Arjan Singh Bular says they're all on steroids. How do you deter a repeat drug user? Don't test him when he's suspended. Don't give him a 4 or 2 year suspension. Instead, give him a 15-month deal expiring a week before one of the biggest shows. New York, Money Talks, UFC, Anti-Doping. He tagged him too. He brought it right to him. Tagged USADA, tagged UFC. Arjan Singh Bular, not fucking around. He's got a great point. I mean, we've been rewarding guys for fucking missing weight. Now, if you do steroids and get caught, you can just give up your steroid guy and get right back in, possibly headline Madison Square Garden. So, this is the message being sent to me. And I'm not a fighter, but this is the message being sent to me. Learn how to beat USADA. Take fucking steroids and don't get caught. And then you're going to be beating a lot of people who are clean. You got an advantage over those guys. So you're going to be one of the best fighters in the division. And oh, by the way, with all these motherfuckers on steroids, how are these clean people beating all of these guys? Just to continue that thought from earlier, how I said if I was drunk off some proper 12, I'd be naming names. How the fuck do all these clean champions beat all these steroid heads? Maybe just skill, I don't know. Or maybe everybody's on this shit like Nate Diaz said. But either way, good point. So people are getting title shots off of missing weight. Now, and back to what I was saying, what I get from the UFC. So take steroids to get to the top and don't get caught, because there's a way to beat them. If I figure that out, do it, and then once you do get caught, fucking tell on somebody, and then you get right back in. You know, your career's never affected, right? That's what it seems like. Like Arjan Singh Bular has a great point. Don't give him a 4 or 2 year suspension. Instead, let him come back right before Madison Square Garden. So, hey, man, more pros are reacting, though. Filthy Tom Lawler says, I'm going to cry. He continued to say, you ever hear people say MMA is fake or UFC is fixed? This Jon Jones shit is what they mean. It's not the outcomes, but the idea of sport itself that is fixed. Money rules all. What a fucking joke. Yo Romero says, happy for you, bro. I lied you to Jon Jones. Manning Gambori, and I guess UFC 230 has a main event now. I'm telling you, a lot of people are saying that that is not the case. CR the Great says, welcome back, Jon Jones 2.0. And oh, by the way, Daniel Cormier is a little reluctant right about now to fight Jon Jones. He was like, nah, I'm done with that. And one of the things I had to say is, of course you don't want to, motherfucker. And I'm a DC fan. But of course you don't want to. It would be risking the Brock Lesnar fight, the easy payday you got coming. Everybody looks at DC like he's about to fucking steamroll Brock Lesnar, knock his shit out, sell 1 million pay-per-views, win. Like, you think he wants to risk fighting Jon Jones, even though it's a heavyweight and he's undefeated there? Jon Jones has beat him twice. You think Daniel Cormier just wants to fight Jon Jones first? No, he wants to fight Brock Lesnar first and then Jon Jones. He don't want Jon Jones to take that fucking Brock Lesnar payday from him. If Jon Jones beats Daniel Cormier, he fights Brock Lesnar. Daniel Cormier don't want that. I'll fight you, Jon, but after I fight Brock. I knocked out Stipe so I could fucking fight Brock. So you're not going to tell me I'm fighting Jon Jones first now. Fuck that. Stipe don't want to fight Jon Jones first because he knows he could lose. And if he loses the Brock Lesnar fight. So now DC's like, no, whoa. I'm not fighting fucking Jon Jones. You guys fucking crazy? I'm not fighting him right now. He don't deserve it. I moved on. But you didn't really move on. Daniel Cormier said he moved on, but we know he really didn't. You know why? Because he said he'll fight Jon Jones again. He said he wants to end his career fighting Jon Jones. He didn't move on. He said, I want to fight Brock Lesnar, and then I want to fight Jon Jones. That's the perfect way to end my career. But he didn't want it in the reverse order. That's 2 big paydays. Beat Brock Lesnar, huge payday, and then you know what? I get another huge payday. Win or lose to Jon Jones, I'm out of here in the motherfucking smooth selling. I still got my Brock payday. Now, if he has to fight Jon Jones first and loses, boom, just lost out on that Brock payday. So he's like, fuck that. I want to fight Brock first. Don't give me this Jon Jones bullshit. You kidding me? Yo. Damian Brown says, welcome back, Jon Jones. Hey, motherfuckers, don't say I didn't tell you so. Oh, $2 in the super chat. Jefferton Alive says, USADA sucks. Why go against science? PEDs works. Yeah. And, you know, just like science works, you know, the science to beat USADA also works. You know what I'm saying? There's people that have figured that science out, too. So, yeah, man, it is. And with that being said, what, I mean, see, but this is the thing. They are freeing Jon Jones in an effort to clean up the sport. Because, yeah, they're letting Jon Jones go, but for potentially a bigger fish, which is cleaning up the sport even more, right? If you let Jon Jones go, who was just using steroids, but you can get a guy that was supplying steroids and beating the system to 20 other fighters, when you take out that guy, you're cleaning up the sport. Because now 20 fighters are on those steroids because you got this guy. So by letting Jon Jones go, you're potentially cleaning up the sport even more. So that's how they're kind of still keeping their integrity in the situation. But as far as USADA sucking, I got to tip the hat because, yeah, man, it does fucking suck sometimes. It's like, what the fuck's going on? For one, you know, you lose big fights that you were looking forward to, and it's, I mean, if it's not someone missing weight, it's somebody fucking, you know, it's a USADA thing. So it's another extra reason to lose big fights, like when we lost the Jon Jones fight, Jon Jones versus Lesnar, all of these things. So that's one thing, but also what about these people who lose their fights, as in like whenever Junior Dos Santos was supposed to fight Francis Ngannou, when Francis Ngannou was still all the hype, but USADA said, nope, JDS, you failed a drug test. So he lost that payday, and everyone thinks he's a cheater now. Come to find out, he's innocent. And that's happened multiple times now. So fighters will get, you know, tests popped, and their reputation's ruined. They'll lose their payday. If they weren't hired by the UFC who hired USADA, that's a lawsuit. Anywhere else, that's a fucking lawsuit. That's a loss of wages and a defamation of fucking character. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that. Loss of wages, defamation of character. I lost my Ngannou fight, and now you motherfuckers called me a cheater, and yeah, now you come out and say I'm innocent, but how the fuck do I get my money back? That's a lawsuit, but the UFC fighters can't really sue USADA because they had to, like, sign a contract, and yes, USADA can fucking show up any time of night. And another thing you don't really look at, I believe Ariel Helwani made this point, these fighters have families and fucking kids that go to school and shit. I'll be goddamned if my kids are asleep for school. They got school in the morning and USADA knocks on my door at 4:30 in the fucking morning, waking the house up, making the dogs bark, and my kids wake up because you motherfuckers want to test me 17 times, and Jon Jones only got tested one goddamn time all year. Get the fuck off my front porch. And DC said that as well. USADA, don't come back to my house. You've tested me 18 fucking times. I got a family. Don't do that. If this shit's gonna happen, don't come back to my house. You gotta respect that shit. So yeah, man, you got fighters reacting. I believe Abdelaziz says, fuck USADA, this shit is fake. Or Masvidal with the congratulations. Curtis Blades, no shade, Jon Jones, but no one's surprised by this arbitrary decision. USADA steadily losing respect in the fight community to the point of questioning why they even exist. And see, a lot of people are assuming that, a lot of people aren't realizing what's going on here. They don't realize Jon Jones is flipping on someone. They think that, you know, it was just a payoff. People think Jon Jones just got off because he's paying somebody. They aren't realizing, no, USADA is still keeping their integrity here. USADA actually looks good through this. I mean, it looks bad outside looking in, but once you know the details is what I'm saying, because people were starting to question their integrity. If Jon Jones didn't even have to serve a minimum of 2 years, people are like, okay, someone's getting fucking paid off. But they actually have the clause that says, hey, if this guy snitches on someone, we can reduce his sentence. So that's what's happening. It's not like they're just letting him come back because they need a main event. And because the UFC said, oh, you guys popped Jon Jones, well, we need him back. Here's some fucking money. Let him back. That's not what's happening. It's not a payoff. It's not nothing like that. It's not like an arbitrator got paid off. This guy was that's not what fucking happened here. So, but either way, a lot of people, you know, are going to express their being upset with USADA because no matter which way you look at it, even if Jon Jones is telling on somebody to come back, the fact is, what you could say, cheaters kind of coming back. And it's kind of like, right, if you look at this in a law perspective, whenever a criminal gets caught and they snitch on somebody else, like, yeah, it does kind of suck that a criminal comes back to the streets. You know, yeah, that does kind of suck because a criminal's still on the street, but they're getting potentially a bigger fish, which is still cleaning up the streets. You see, that's kind of what's going on here. Yeah, Jon Jones is getting off here, but it's potentially for a greater cause. So that's what's going on here, man. Dana White reacted. He said, the arbitrator, this is a statement he released, the arbitrator found that Jon Jones never intentionally or knowingly took steroids, and the result of the positive test was the result of a contaminated substance. I didn't see this part. The science completely supports that finding. See, I don't get, there's so much contradictory statements here. How can you say the science supports that finding when there's the same fact out there that he tested 14 supplements and none of those were contaminated? And oh, by the way, what the fuck about Article 10.6.1? If the science completely supports this finding, why did Jon Jones get 48 months? If the science completely supports this finding, why does Jon Jones have to tell on somebody? If it was the result of a contaminated substance, why the fuck is he out for 48 months and having to tell on somebody to come back? That don't match up. Like, yeah, we know you weren't trying to cheat. We know it was a contaminated... Whenever it's a contaminated supplement, people get deemed innocent. Whenever it's a contaminated supplement, they let you motherfucking come back. That's why JDS was already able to come back and fight. And there wasn't no Article 10.6.1 having to tell on somebody. He didn't have a trial where he got found guilty. None of that shit. Whenever they find you're innocent, boom, there ain't no trial where you get found guilty and then later they come back talking about you got to tell on somebody. So that's what the fuck I don't get here. I honestly don't understand this. How can on one hand you tell us he's clean, no intentional use, contaminated supplement, and then on the other hand, when you look at the actual legal documents, it says Jon Jones had to use Article 10.6.1. And when you look at Article 10.6.1, it says you got to fucking tell on somebody to get off. So maybe they don't want to put that out in the public. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't understand that at all. It says the science doesn't lie, so look forward to getting him back. I look forward to getting him back early next year. And that's another thing Dana White said. He's saying Jon Jones ain't even going to be back this year. If you're believing this statement, he says we look forward to getting him back early next year. That would mean Jon Jones is not fighting in Madison Square Garden. That would mean Jon Jones ain't coming back all of 2019. What? Okay, so that's possible. But yeah, man, it's crazy though. And Dana White's not known as the most truthful. I personally, and this is just me as a fucking fan, I don't really buy this. Because, I mean, we've pointed out enough in the show. The Article 10.6.1, the snitching clause, and the actual UFC document. I broke that down. USADA.ufc.org. The Jon Jones whole situation that got broken down. You scroll down and it tells you we were able to lift this sentence 30 months. 30 fucking months because of this fucking clause right here. And this is the snitching clause. So, that being said, there's a narrative going out there that's saying Jon Jones had a contaminated supplement. I don't get that. So, with that being said, let's move on from that topic. Daniel Cormier also reacted. With that being said, I kind of told you what he had to say. Like, don't fucking come back to my house. But he said, I'm the UFC double champion. I have bosses in the back, and I'm talking about this guy because I have to. I moved past that. I went about my business. I went on and won another title. This guy, I guess now, his suspension's up, so we'll see what happens. I think people get excited. People get excited about the prospect of us fighting. But I've got to fight with Brock Lesnar. Why would I look back? Why would I look back to Jon Jones now when I've got to fight? That's what I was telling you earlier. He don't want to fight Jon Jones before Brock Lesnar. Why the fuck would he want to risk that? I've got my money fight. My fucking easy fight. Everybody, you know, looks at that fight like, oh, Daniel Cormier's about to knock Brock Lesnar the fuck out. Or he's just about to dominate Brock Lesnar. Why would he want to give that up and fight Jon Jones right now? Because if he loses his belt and loses that fight. DC's like, fuck that. I want to fight Brock first. You got me fucked up. I want to fight Brock. And after I fight Brock, then I'll entertain Jon Jones. He continued to say again, it is what it is. Here's the deal. When it comes to USADA, they can't come to my house anymore at 6 a.m. What's the point? They've been to my house 15 times. Enough. USADA, don't come to my house anymore. You don't need to. You don't need to come. I'm not going to fellow test. I'm not going to make any mistakes. I'm not going to sit up there and go, I'm serious this time, guys. I promise. I wasn't really trying to cheat. It's never going to happen with me. 70 times. 70 times since I started wrestling internationally, and I've never made a mistake. It's not that hard. So even me having to sit here and do this again shows that guys are ridiculous. So that's the champ responding. He responded on the Fox desk. But I've got to say this, and this is just my dumbass fan psychoanalysis of that response. This points back to me earlier saying everybody's fucking on steroids. DC, when he's telling you stuff like, don't come back to my house, he said, I don't make mistakes. Like, I don't make mistakes. What? You mean you don't cheat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't make mistakes. Like, I mean, you don't fuck up and fuck up your masking? I don't know. Like, I don't want to go too far with that because Daniel Cormier's never failed a drug test. But I just found it weird. He was saying, I'm not going to make any mistakes. Like, you don't have to test me. I'm not going to make any mistakes. Like, I get what he's saying. Like, I'm not going to fail a drug test. I never have. But it's like, is it because you don't make mistakes or because you're not cheating? Like, USADA, stop testing me. Like, this is what I would have said. USADA, stay the fuck away from my house because I'm not going to fail a drug test. I'm a clean fighter. Why are you waking me up at 6 in the morning and I've never failed a fucking test? You know why I haven't failed a test? Because I'm clean. You don't have to worry about me failing a test because I'm fucking clean. Why don't you test the dirty motherfuckers? This dude has been in the testing pool and you only tested him once this whole year. I'm fucking clean and you wake me up at 6 in the morning. Stay the fuck away from my house. I don't make mistakes. That's all I'm saying. Whatever the fuck that means. Let's move on, though. All of that Jon Jones talk, we're going to move on from the Jon Jones talk, but first we need a little bit of a late-night simp break. It's a little too late to be doing a simp break because I don't trust you guys to keep your dicks in your pants. Pause. But it is what it is. We've talked a whole lot of Jon Jones. It's time for the simp break. And boy, goddamn, Michelle Watterson, the karate hottie, drip mother fucking drip. I was talking about this the other day on the Simp segment, man. I don't know if this is new. I don't know anybody else I've seen doing these pictures, you know what I'm saying? But as a photographer, this is a hell of a shot. This is a hell of a concept for a thirst trap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the pool right on the back shot, and she put the caption there too, drip, drip. You know what the fuck we're all thinking. Well, some of you probably are. Some of you are thinking, oh man, I would love to go swimming right now. Tomorrow's a beautiful day for swimming. But that's not what the simps are thinking. They're thinking motherfucking drip. Drip, what a picture, full-time family. That's why we love the Simp segment, for shit like that. We also got MMA Cheeks in the building. And they motherfucking said this is number 10 in the face, slim in the waist, fat in the ass. I've never heard that last part, you know, with that sign. Like, you know, cute in the face, slim in the waist. I've heard that, and then they put fat in the ass. Cassie Robb, not fucking around. Simp segment is lit. Venezuelan Vixen hitting you with that, you know, just facial beauty with, you know what I'm saying? Not no thirst trap, just, you know, new mom, respecting herself, but still looking good on Instagram. Got the motherfucking boxing gloves, letting you know she's on the way back. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, she said, who do you want to see me fight next? Like, if you want to see me fight again, leave a comment below and tell me who. I want to see you fight again. Let's go. Yana Kunitskaya cutting weight for her upcoming fight. Cutting weight. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. Cutting weight. Got a fight coming up, I believe, at UFC 229 with Lena Landsberg, if I'm not mistaken. The feeling with Hard Day finished. Desert Sauna. Simp break's almost over, full-time family. Pearl Gonzalez, she's doing fucking amazing in Invicta over there since leaving the UFC. She's over there on her way back to the UFC, it seems. She went over there, started kicking ass, talking about getting the belt. Pearl's doing big things outside the UFC. Probably getting some sponsors too. And also some fan support from the Simps. Tatiana Suarez, she's doing a lot of interviews with a lot of YouTube channels coming up. I was listening to the coach's show today. He said he got an interview with her. I think BJ Johnson got an interview with her. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm sending her a message. I'm going to try and get an interview. Shit. Let's see if we can get one. I also sent a message to Kayla Harrison's team, trying to get an interview, full-time family. I'm reaching out to some people, trying to get some interviews and shit. So yeah, man. With that being said, that's the end of the Simp segment for the stream. Put your dicks back in your pants. Pause. I don't know why we're on Fight Companion. There we go. I don't know why we're on, yeah, dicks back in your pants. Pause. Get that shit out of here. This is YouTube. Wait till the stream's over. This is the portion of the show where we pretty much got fast topics. Not a lot to break down here. We're going to look at a little bit here. We got some details on the UFC 229 press conference. Whole Conor McGregor says it's open to the public. UFC coming out after that and saying, no, it's not. So we're going to see who runs shit here. I'm sure Conor McGregor. I don't think the public's going to get in. I don't think Conor McGregor's goons are going to fucking square off with the UFC's goons in the streets of New York. I don't think they're going to do that. Fuck that. He's got 2 bottles of Irish whiskey. He's with me. The fuck out of here, Dana. Like, you know, the UFC security and the police. Like, I don't think Conor McGregor's team wants that smoke. With the police and shit, too. You know, I'm sure, like, the UFC's going to have the police there for their security in New York. But Conor McGregor, he don't got a lot of wiggle room in New York. He just don't. That's where the Dolly shit happened. He can't be fucking having his security battle with the police because they're trying to get fans inside because they bought some proper 12. Nah, dog, let them go watch that shit on the big Times Square TV, the Megazilla or whatever that's called. They're not going to be getting in. The media's getting in, but not the fans. The UFC says no. Of course, Conor McGregor tweeted and he said, the ticket for the entry is a bottle of proper whiskey. 2 bottles and you will skip the queue to the top. My soldiers will be outside making sure this rule is strictly adhered to. Radio City Hall, UFC 229 press conference. You think Conor McGregor's really on some Don shit, or you guys think he's just coked up feeling like a Don? Like, because this is a hell of a royal tweet to just get shut down by the UFC. Like, this is some Don shit. Like, yeah, I run the show. They said the fans can't get in. Psh. Fans are in. Get 2 bottles of whiskey. You're in there. That almost sounds, you know, like he's feeling like Scarface or some shit. I run this. go get 2 bottles of my whiskey, and you're in. And the UFC's like, is this guy fucking serious? Like, no, they're not. Just, you know, someone in the just let him write that shit. Just let him tweet that shit. We're gonna have NYPD outside. No one's getting in. It's not happening. I don't know, but that's crazy. But it says Ultimate Fighting Championship will be live streaming the press conference on the world's largest TV screen, the 330-foot Megazilla between 45th and 46th Street. In fact, shortly after McGregor posted these tweets, the UFC released a statement reiterating that the press conference was not open to the public. The press conference is not open to the public. It's for media only. We're directing all fans to Times Square where it will be shown for the public viewing. There's going to be some fights in Times Square because there's going to be motherfuckers out there drinking the whiskey. You know, they're going to be hitting it out the bottle. Straight shots. They ain't going to be out there in the middle of the street pouring shots for people. No. Motherfuckers going to be out there double-fisted like Edward 40 Hands. Motherfucking one on, I'm going to have 1 bottle in this hand and 1 bottle in this hand, and you're going to need a fucking army to get these fucking bottles out of my fucking hand. They're going to be getting wasted. GTA love bitches wasted. Wasted. Juice WRLD anybody? Who's it? Alright, never mind. But yeah, man, so this is going to be so fucking lit, and I'm going to be at work. I just want to see the action. I want to fucking watch. I want to watch the people outside of the press conference as much as I want to watch the press conference. Like, I just fucking want to see it all. And the press conference and the announcement. I'm going to fucking have to figure something out, man. But the thing is, it like starts like right after I get to work too. I wish it started later in the day so I could like 3 hours into work would be perfect. It starts like 1 hour after I get to work. That kind of sucks dick because I'm just getting to work. But either way, man, it is what it is. I can catch it after work. I'm just gonna tune the fuck out. I'm not going to Twitter. I'm not going to social media. I'm not going to nothing till I get off of work. I'm gonna get off of work, fucking come straight home, and just watch the press conference. Not looking at no YouTube comments, nothing. I want to watch that shit like it's brand new. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens at the press conference going on tomorrow. Topic I really want to talk about, Kayla Harrison signing on for the PFL's women's lightweight tournament in 2019. We got the women's lightweight division forming over in PFL. You kidding me? They got to sign Josette Cotton, right? She's a legit lightweight. She's 8-2, only lost to Kayla Harrison. And it's going to be like the $1 million tournament format. Yo, I'm all the way in for PFL's Kayla Harrison tournament. I mean, lightweight tournament. You get the point. And Kayla Harrison's got her fucking mind screwed on right. And like I said, fuck what that old article was talking about. You guys, some of you might know what I'm saying. Whenever they said Kayla Harrison says she'll be ready for the best in the world by 2019. You guys misconstrued her. She said she'll be ready for the best by the end of 2019 and likely fighting the best probably somewhere early in 2020. That's what it seemed like. She said, I believe I'll be up there by the end of 2019, which means she'll probably be fighting Cyborg in 2020, like your boy predicted a long time ago. 2020. I was just saying, full-time family 2020. Let's go. But Kayla Harrison is continuing the full-time 2020 hype with what she had to say here. She said, well, that's the PFL, but this is what Kayla had to say. She said, I think next year will give me a lot of time to grow and change. By the end of next year, I'll be 8-0, undefeated through the regular season and playoffs. I think PFL will have a great opportunity to say, Cyborg, hey, why don't you come over here? We'll have ourselves a real exciting tournament. So she's saying, let's go. She's motherfucking saying, end of 2019, I'll be 8-0, right? You guys know what's at the end. What's after 2019? What's after the end? I'll help you out. What's after the end of 2019? What? I didn't hear you. Oh, yeah, it's because you're not on my fucking Google Hangout. 2020, motherfucker. It's 2020. She'll be 8-0 by the end of next year. And then maybe Cyborg will come over for that 2020 ass whipping. That's all I'm saying. Kayla Harrison, motherfucking two-time Olympic gold medalist. She ain't never been fucking around. And if you thought she was, take a fucking peek see at Tatiana Suarez. You know, people are like, oh, she ain't got enough experience to be considered one of the best. And then Tatiana Suarez comes out, who's also 8-0, 7-0. And what does she do? Looks like one of the motherfucking best fighters in the strawweight division, so it can be done. Some of these girls coming over here, and I saw Kayla Harrison retweeted this other chick who was like, yo, if you need a training partner, let me know. And I was like, who is this? Who is this? And it was a fucking Olympic wrestling chick. Yo, Kayla Harrison's a beast, and she's got a lot of potential. But once these female wrestlers start transitioning to MMA, it's a fucking wrap for the rest of these chicks that have been shining. All of them. All of them. Dog wrestling's going to take over WMMA, and you're going to have to figure some shit out. That's just how it happened in men's MMA, man, and then people get, you know, more well-rounded. But people with wrestling bases have a really good advantage in fights over strikers. Even someone with jiu-jitsu, like, they're gonna have to find a way to submit you. Like, wrestlers have a lot of success in MMA. And just facts, women wrestling ideally seems a lot more entertaining, and I don't know if it's the entertainment aspect, but it seems a lot more appealing than men's wrestling to me. Like, whenever I saw that, I was like, wait, they have WMMA, like, women wrestling, like, college wrestling? Like, when that come on? I'm going to have to check one of those out. See what they're talking about. I've never saw a women's wrestling match, but I'm kind of interested. So I'm just saying, women's grappling, I mean, jiu-jitsu. Women's jiu-jitsu is more appealing than men's jiu-jitsu. It's just fucking facts. It's just fucking facts. To a lot of people. Now, if you're a fucking jiu-jitsu purple belt out there, you're probably pissed off like, no, it's not. I love seeing all jiu-jitsu. All jiu-jitsu, it's fucking great. But when you're somebody that's not fucking working on your black belt, you'd rather see two females rolling around on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you're not paying attention to the submission, it's just, I'm just saying it's fucking more appealing, man. How fucking far do I gotta go? I'm just saying. These female wrestlers are gonna come over here like Tatiana Suarez and rip shit apart. You saw what she did to fucking Carla Esparza. Tatiana Suarez won that fight, and they changed her fucking last name to Nurmagomedov. So Kayla Harrison, she's got a lot of potential, and I say all that to say this: Chris Cyborg is a fucking beast. She's the WMMA GOAT right now, right? But she's more known as a striker. She's known as the GOAT, but she's more known for her striking. We don't see Cyborg getting in there and putting bitches in arm bars and submitting chicks and taking them down and smashing them like Khabib. She tears them up standing up. Cyborg's not known for her grappling. Now, Coach will tell you, and I'm sure she does, Cyborg has good grappling. But that doesn't mean it's world class. That doesn't mean it's her strong suit. So what happens when she does go against somebody and they put her on the mat and that's their strong suit? Like a future Kayla Harrison. 8-0, 9-0. Yeah, for sure. It's going to be tough to beat Cyborg. But all I'm saying is Kayla Harrison's going to be able to take a punch. She's training with the American top team. She's fighting in the PFL, getting ready. She's hungrier and hungrier. Meanwhile, Cyborg's waiting on Amanda Nunes. She's over here frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, by 2020, UFC probably still ain't going to have her a division. She's already talking about leaving the UFC. She might be going and doing boxing. Cyborg's talking about going and doing boxing. I could see her doing that. Like some female Mayweather McGregor shit. Cyborg could do some boxing. I think she's probably going to. And you know what that's not going to do? Help her grappling. Boxing ain't going to help your grappling. So you go ahead and box while Kayla Harrison's getting better and better. Go ahead and box while Kayla Harrison's perfecting her MMA judo. Because the boxing ain't going to help you on the ground. That's all I'm saying. So, would that be... Oh, and by the way, guess who Kayla Harrison's teammate is? Amanda Nunes. And guess why that matters? Because win or lose against Amanda Nunes, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. You block security. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Win or lose against Chris Cyborg, Amanda Nunes is getting that experience. Amanda Nunes, in my opinion, she likely loses that fight, right? She's gonna have to. She could win. She's got some heavy hands and shit, but I just think Cyborg, you know, she's the female GOAT. She's the GOAT right now. Nobody's beating Cyborg on the planet today. I don't think so. Now, 2020 is a whole nother motherfucking story. And by the way, even if Amanda Nunes gets her ass kicked at UFC 232, guess what she's going to go do? She's going to go train with Kayla Harrison and say, man, I almost had that bitch. All you got to do is hit her right here instead of right here. Yo, I almost took her down. All you got to do is put your foot right here instead of right there. I'm just saying, full-time family, 20 motherfucking 20. Couple more things to talk about before we get out of here, you guys. It's 4:05 in the morning and we still motherfucking kicking. If you're listening to this on the replay tomorrow while I'm at work, man, tell me in the comment section what's happened at the press conference. I'm not reading that shit until I watch it, though. You know, that's crazy. Some people are going to be watching this tomorrow and they're going to be already knowing what happened at the press conference. It's crazy, full-time family. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. And oh, by the way, McGregor versus Khabib is in fucking 15 days. 15 days from now. Man, with that being, we also got big Bellator cards coming up. September 29th is a huge card for Bellator. That's what, next Saturday? Holy shit. And that's going to be, I think, Mousasi versus McDonald. I think that's the same card as Rampage versus Vanderlei 4. The kickoff of the welterweight Grand Prix. That's a huge Bellator card coming up too, man. Great time to be an MMA fan. Jon Jones is back. So yeah, Gegard Mousasi believes the UFC is declining due to bad cards. What do you guys think about that? I mean, Bellator has been declining too, and if that's the case, that could be the case. A lot of people talk about how the UFC is diluted. They got too many fighters, too many fight cards, so fights always fall through. They got to stretch all these fights out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why the UFC's ratings are declining. There's no clear-cut way to figure out exactly why. But Gegard Mousasi, who's now with Bellator, he said Bellator is growing, no doubt about it. I think the last couple of years I was fighting at Bellator 200, I got the opportunity to fight in the main event. Now fighting Roy McDonald in a super fight for DAZN, I got to fight for the belt. These opportunities that I get now I wouldn't have gotten if I was in the UFC, so I'm very thankful they have trust in me. So I just have to do my job and put on good fights and win. I feel the UFC is declining because they're putting on bad cards. The main events are not that intriguing. We had a lot of big names fighting right now in Bellator. You have Quentin Jackson and Vanderlei Silva. And oh, by the way, McKee versus McCappa. No, I'm sure he didn't put that in here. Actually, that's a big Kappa, actually. But, I mean, he's talking about, like, I'll finish his statement. But, I mean, he's kind of wrong here. But I feel the UFC is declining because they're putting on bad cards. The main events are not intriguing. We have a lot of big names fighting now in Bellator. You have Quentin Jackson versus Vanderlei Silva. That's a super fight on its own. Obviously, Lyoto Machida's now here. Brian Bader, Matt Mitrione. You have so many big names. Yeah, you've got about fucking 15. UFC's got about 50. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, it's because they have so many cards, but you can't compare Bellator's headliners to the UFC's. I would rather watch Thiago Santos versus Eric Anders, which is a rescheduled, re-scrapped main event every single day. And I like McKee versus McCappa. I like those guys. I like Julia Budd versus Toledo Nogueira, even though a lot of you guys don't know who the fuck those people are. But you can't tell me that those are better headliners than what the UFC's giving you, even on a fucking fight night in Moscow. Olenek versus Hunt is a bigger main event than some of the... Now, yeah, if you look at Bellator's biggest cards, like September 29th, and compare that to the UFC's weakest cards, you might have a point, but that's not really a fair argument. But either way, Gegard Mousasi is clearly Team Bellator. He's just giving his motherfucking thoughts. No harm in that. But Bellator is on the move. They are on the rise, but they still ain't the UFC. You know what I'm saying? But Gegard Mousasi, Lyoto Machida, a lot of guys in the UFC are making more money in Bellator than they were in the UFC, getting bigger opportunities and shit. So it's not like Bellator's a bad place to go. It's just, you know what I'm saying, that they're not going to have as stacked headliners as the UFC. That's just facts. But aside from Bellator and the UFC, Greg Hardy is returning to the UFC Fight Pass, but not in the UFC. He fought 2 times on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. The UFC's got him in a developmental program. Holy shit, I just stuttered. They have him in a developmental program, and he's not in the UFC, which this is weird, right? It's kind of like, since he's so early in his career, they have to protect him, but you can't protect him in the UFC. So it's like they kind of like have him under a contract, but he still gets to fight for other promotions, but it's promotions that are fighting on Fight Pass. So he's going to be fighting for the I don't even know what this organization is called. The XFC, the XFN. Well, it's going to be on Fight Pass. Does it say who he's fighting? Let's see. Undefeated heavyweight prospect Greg Hardy will return September 29th. That's the same fucking night as Bellator. That's in a week and a half. Holy shit. He's going to be taking on Ray Jones in Tulsa. So they're just going to keep feeding this dude cans until what? They feel like he's ready, until he's got a pretty enough record. That's honestly just keeping it 100 all the way. They're probably going to keep feeding him cans until he has a pretty enough record to legitimize his run in the UFC. You can't have 2-0 Greg Hardy coming over and fighting fucking Andrei Arlovsky or even Derek Lewis. But maybe if he can fight fucking 7 fights in the XFN, get him, you know, get him seven wins, make him 9-0 or something. He can come over and fight somebody that's mid-level, you know. So we'll see. But yeah, he's probably gonna knock this dude out in the first round, have huge odds. You know what I'm saying? And that's I'm kind of surprised people aren't more upset with that than they are with Greg Hardy. Every time you talk about Greg Hardy, they say woman beater, blah, 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 blah. No second chances. We don't believe in second chances. Fuck this guy. Even though he didn't get convicted, we don't give a fuck. Fuck, blah, blah, blah. All right, you get that. But the UFC, right, they're like, I don't want to say catering to him, but they're kind of like guiding him to, they're putting him in front of a bunch of fucking victims, kind of, honestly, but they're men. Honestly, you know, that's kind of what's going on. I didn't even think about that till just now. The UFC's giving Greg Hardy a bunch of victims. The difference is they're men, but they don't have a chance. A lot of these guys he's fighting have about as good of a chance of his fucking, okay, they have a better chance than one of his ex-girlfriends. But they don't have much of a chance, man. He's coming in here 10-1 favorites and shit, just knocking these dudes out in the first round. Pretty similar to what he would probably do to anybody else, a civilian, man or woman. He would knock them out in the first round. The UFC's setting him up a bunch of dudes like to knock out in the first round. Like, hey, you guys want to watch Greg Hardy knock someone out? It's not a chick. It's not a chick. But he's knocking shit out. So that's interesting. I don't know when they're going to throw him to the wolves, but it seems like they don't even do this with fucking Sage Northcutt. They don't even put Sage Northcutt in developmental programs and let him fight on Fight Pass and well-round all the way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, the UFC's not known for building guys up from no record. They're not known for that. They're a Shark Tank. They're known for, you know, hype jobs get ended in the UFC because we don't have no easy fights for you here. So it's tough. Even our favorite guys like CM Punk and Sage Northcutt, they're going to lose sometimes because this is the UFC and we don't just have gimme fights. But with Greg Hardy, they're kind of like got him really under their wing, like, all right, knock out these 10 dudes while you work on your grappling in the gym, and then we'll bring you over for one big fight, you know. So I don't know, that's just an interesting situation. But that's pretty much it for the show, you guys. I mean, we can look at UFC 229, just the fight card so far. There's going to be more fights added and probably taken off. I mean, and it's not going to be the main event. It's just fight cards this big. It usually seems like some fight falls off and gets put on like the later show, right? Like we all like just for instance, like let's say Lewis versus Volkov. That motherfucker falls off, and then we'll see Lewis versus Volkov in like Canada or something. Like, I don't know. That's just some shit that happens sometimes. It just seems like, but even if we lose a fight here, we know what we're all here for. McGregor versus Khabib, the main event. As long as that doesn't fall off, we're gravy. And we got Pettis versus Ferguson. That's a good ass fight too. That one, I don't know. That might be the one that's hard to buy. But hopefully not. Tony Ferguson really needs to come back. I mean, and get a fight after that injury to try and reclaim himself as a top contender. Try to get his belt back that he kind of got stripped of. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fucking great card. The press conference is tomorrow. But I'm actually going to shut the show off because, for one, we're out of topics. For two, I got to go to bed, wake up in time to do like a live panel or something for tomorrow's show before work. And also figure out how the fuck I'm going to be watching this press conference from work and maybe going live. I don't know. But it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm actually starting to get delirious. I'm pretty fucking tired. So, with that being said, man, we will end the show with some UFC Yankovic, just one song. Daniel Cormier. XXX Tentacion, Daniel Cormier and shit. Double champ. Daniel Cormier versus D-Bay and shit. What's going on, full-time family? I'll pull up the chat before we do that, though, man. What's going on? I'm Him is in the building. Cam Murphy's in the building. Charismatic Lemon. What's going on, everybody? Let's see. So you're talking about a video game. Red Dead. Okay. The Gordon Rebellion in the building. I can't wait to go full-on Young Guns on Red Dead 2. Ryan Dunning in here. What time does the press conference start? The press conference, I'll get that for you before we get out of here. I'm pretty sure it's 5 p.m. Eastern. What? McGregor versus Khabib press conference. Let's see. Should tell us here. 5 p.m. Eastern. So 5 p.m. Eastern. That's what time it'll be starting. The press conference. With that being said, thank you all for tuning into this live stream, man. A lot of crazy shit went down. If you just got here, make sure you rewind to the beginning of the show to hear anything you might have missed. And if you're listening on the replay, I appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. And with that being said, man, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And also check out the links in the description. Follow me on social media. Check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo, man. We lit. We also sleepy. So we out.
MMA, nothing else.
My life, man,
Nobody fucking with me, yeah. I'm about to go be Stipe, yeah. Moving up to heavyweight, yeah. And I am destined to be great, yeah. And if you didn't know, they call me DC. And there's no one that you know that can beat me. Yeah, I fought Jon Jones, but was he clean? I don't think so. What's in that PP? Steroids, cocaine, probably weed. Testosterone, dick pills, and speed. And shrooms, and pills, and codeine. Goddamn, Jon turned into a dope fiend. And Stipe's about to turn into a folding chair. When I fold them up, I'ma win 2 belts and hold them up. On my champ shit, Conor knows what's up, little bitch.